emoji.
Hey, thanks for coming back. Hey, today I'm doing pork ribs, right? I'm doing a Char Siu pork ribs, right? Normally I would do a long, drawn out recipe for it, and then I would cook it. But this time I'm just going to use some pre-made Char Siu sauce, right? It's by Lee Kum Kee, right? Lee Kum Kee. So I'm going to put it on there, and we're going to smoke it with some hickory and some cherry wood. Now my goal is to not overcook it. Initially my goal is not to overcook it, but you'll find the blue can did take the wheel and it was overcooked. Now you may say, well, how do I know if it's overcooked? Well, it's overcooked if your ribs get over 200 degrees, right? The sweet spot when you're cooking the ribs, 185, 190. Mine got to 201, okay? So they'll fall off the bone. So for those of you that like to fall off the bone, you'll like this, right? If you're like me and you don't like fall off the bone, you want to just take a nice clean bite, you might not like this too much. I mean, it's still delicious either way. But this is what we got. Look at that. I mean, visually it looks awesome. Visually, good to go, right? It just bugs me that it's fall off the bone, right? So I double cut them. My mouth's all watering. Double cut them. Well, look at this. Since I double cut them, they're wider, right? It's not a clean cut because they're overcooked, but let's take a bite. Even though when you watch it, you'll see I've already been nibbling on it. But anyway, yeah, whatever. Take a bite, see what we got. Yep. Come through, Lee. I hope you enjoy this. Watch what I do. You might see some mistakes, you might not. But they are overcooked, just so you know. Some people like that. I don't know. I don't, but watch.
Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard.
Okay, glad you came back. So today we're going to be making a easier or simpler version of Char Siu ribs. And I'm going to be smoking them out there on the grill. Well, on the smoker. We're going to be using hickory and cherry wood. Okay. Well, what we're going to be using, the true star of the show for the simplicity, is the Lee Kum Kee Char Siu sauce. Now, this is a Chinese barbecue sauce. You should be able to find it at your grocery store, most likely you will. If not, hit your Asian markets. I know they got it, okay? And we're going to let this marinate, and then we're going to smoke it up and see what we got. Now, I do have a more extensive or a barbecue sauce for Char Siu. You make it from scratch, right? A lot of ingredients, but it's well worth it. I'll see if I can put an iCard up so you can go check that out if you already haven't checked it out. But let's see what we're going to be using for this simple dish. All right, so what we have here, we have our Char Siu sauce, right? We're going to be using about, I don't know, 5 or 6 tablespoons for this. And when it's almost done cooking, we're going to put some honey on it, but we're going to thin out the barbecue sauce with a couple tablespoons of Shaoxing cooking wine. Now, the Shaoxing cooking wine can be found at your Asian market, you know, or you can order online, right? And then the star of the show, or the secondary star, the co-star, are ribs. Now, I've already trimmed them up, cut them up so they fit in the bag, and now we're all set. So now, let's get to mixing up the marinade. All right, so what we want to do, take our sauce. It's relatively thick. and get, see this? See how thick this is? I don't know if you can tell, look at that. 5 or 6 tablespoons. So there's about 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do 5. 5. Okay. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of our Shaoxing cooking wine. Now, just to help thin it out some. Plus, I love the taste of the Shaoxing. Just a little mix. You grab a little spatula here and get this off the spoon. Well, all that goodness. Okay. Take our whisk. Let's whisk it up. Okay. Let's get some tasting chopsticks. See what we're working with. Oh yeah. Yep. Now we're going to add this to our ribs. So now what we're going to do, open it up. And we're going to pour, with the aid of the spatula, our sauce in. And this is why I thinned it out, because I need it to coat everything, because I'm not using this as a glaze. I'm not going to be basting this. It's going to go over on the smoker and just cook. Okay. Go. Seal this up. Air out. And now we want to just carefully rub the sauce onto the ribs. And don't worry if it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. It will be, because for the amount of time that it's going to be marinating, and as we manipulate it every hour, every couple hours until it's time to cook it, it's going to be fully marinated. So you don't have to worry about that. It's going to be fully covered. But you just want to get the preliminary on it. Okay. And some more air out. And this is going to go in the refrigerator. Okay, so now this is going to go in the refrigerator for at least a day and a half, maybe even 2 days. Okay? But if you're in a rush, just, well, I can't say a rush, because if you want to do it, you want it to be flavorful. So at least give it 8 hours to overnight. Okay? But if you want to be lazy and be in a rush, you can just put the marinade on it an hour, but the results won't be the same. So give it at least 8 hours minimum. Okay? I'm going to do mine for a day and a half to 2 days before I put it on the smoker. Now, the reason I add the Shaoxing wine, 1, because I like the taste of it. 2, because I want to thin out the barbecue sauce, because as it cooks, we're not going to be basting it. Okay? We're using it as a marinade, and I want to thin out to be able to cover all over the ribs, right? Without having to brush the ribs. Now, having said that, now that it's in the refrigerator for about every hour, I mean, you can get away with 2 hours, or so. Just massage it. Turn it around, turn it over, massage it, manipulate the meat, get the marinade all over it, right? And then when it's time for you to cook it, you're gonna be ready. So I'll see you in a couple days. Okay, so the smoker's ready, right? 250 degrees, 275 degrees, somewhere around in there. We're looking at about a 5 to 6 hour cook. We're gonna be using hickory and cherry wood for this. So now that it's ready, let's go get these bad boys, put them on the smoker. Now, the ribs have been sitting out for about a half an hour, just so they get a little bit closer to room temperature, so it's a more even cook, okay? Because if you put them out there cold, what happens is the outside will cook, and the inside just won't quite, cook evenly. So it won't be right. It'll be messed up. So it's best to let it come to room temperature if you can. Not if you can. If you don't have time for it to come to room temperature, don't do it. Okay? Let it come to room temperature and then start cooking it. Let's get out there on the smoker. All right, let's get this bad boy on. Looking nice. More pieces here. Want to cook those too. There we go. All right, so now these ribs, they're gonna go get some smoke for about 3 hours, right? So at the 1 hour mark, I'm gonna start spritzing them. And what I'm gonna be spritzing them with is just a 50-50 mixture of seasoned rice vinegar, the tangy version that I love, and water. Real basic. So we're gonna spritz at the 1 hour mark, and then after that, about every half hour, we're gonna spritz. I won't show you all of it. I may show you the first spritz, maybe the second one, but after that, I won't show it because it's unnecessary. But we're gonna get this cooking, and we'll be back. All right, let's get these a spritz. Yep, looking good. Looking really good. Very nice. Okay, so you saw it's been an hour and a half, right? Gave it a spritz. They look good. They look very good. If I could, if it was in that safety range, I would have bit a piece of it, but it's not. I already know that. An hour and a half, you can't do it. No, not properly, not on an offset smoker with the temps that I'm using, okay? When you are eating your pork, granted, you can eat pork when it's like 145 degrees, right? And you're fine, but you should actually get it over 165. But in the case of these ribs, I want to get them to about 180, 185. So that way you can get a good bite and the meat doesn't fall off the bone. Because a lot of people seem to think that your ribs are good to go if it just falls off the bone. No, if it just falls off the bone, yes, it's delicious, but it's overcooked, okay? And it will fall off the bone at around between 195 and 205, it'll start falling off the bone. Now, can I guarantee mine won't be fall off the bone? No, I can't. Because this is a 5.5, 6 hour cook. If the blue can takes the wheel, we don't know what we're gonna end up with, okay? But we're gonna try our best. So, having said that, when it hits the 3 hour mark, which is in about an hour and a half, we're gonna wrap it, okay? To help it get tender. And we're gonna let it remain wrapped for about 2 hours, okay? So I'll see you when it's time to wrap it. I'll bring it in and we'll wrap it. I'm not going to show you on the smoker. There's no need, but I'll bring them in here and then we'll wrap it so we can keep it moving. Stay tuned. Okay, so pull these off the grill. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the smaller pieces. We're going to put them on the foil and wrap these. I'm just going to put a little spritz on it. Just a little. Don't need much. Just a little. Okay. Wrap them tight. Then I'm going to take the bigger one. No spritz. And we're actually going to turn this one over. But I want the meat side down on this guy, on this one. And then we're going to wrap this one. Okay. Make sure you wrap it tight. I may have to double up. I see there's a hole. So I'm going to have to double up on it. We'll have this commercial grade foil. Now this is going to go back on the smoker for 2 hours. And then we'll be back. Okay, so it's been a couple hours here. Yeah, Blue Can kind of took the wheel. I checked the temp. The temps is right about 200 degrees. I would have liked it to be a little less than that, but you know, it's gonna be fall off the bone. So, but the last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our honey and we're just gonna glaze the top with the honey. Okay. Don't need a lot, just a little bit. And just glaze the top. And now because it's over the temp that we wanted, all we need is for this honey just to set. Okay? That's all we need. So we're going to put it back out there on the smoker, you know, for about 15 minutes. And then you're going to take it out and let it rest. And then we'll be all set. All right, I'm gonna put these on the smoker and we'll be back when it's time to cut them up. All right, so the ribs, they've rested for about 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these bad boys up. I'm gonna be double cutting them. So I'm gonna cut close on the first bone. Look at it. See, overcooked it, it fell off the bone. See that? I'm not a fan of that, but you know, it happens, right? Double cut. So we get a big piece. You know, I'm just gonna pull the bone off of this because look, it just comes right out. Twist, pull. It's crazy. Now I'm gonna cut. I got another big piece. This guy, gonna twist and pull because it's overcooked. Another double cut piece. Okay. Take some of that. This guy on the end, twist, pull the bone right out. There. These bones out the way. See, This one's not as, yeah, it is. The bone just comes right out. I just want to trim this up a little bit here. Get a little trim. Sit that on here. And we got this little guy. We're just gonna cut this one right in the middle. Like that. So you can see, like smoke ring, glistening. We like that. Let's see what we got. Here we have it. Our smoked Kum Kee Char Siu pork ribs. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, hey, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, join the peanut gallery. You know, our arms are open, and we'll leave a light on for you so you can find your way to us even in the dark. Also, if we're not connected on Instagram, go to Instagram, put my name in, Shrashira, look for the gray cat, and let's connect. That being said, as you can see, I'm about to get in on this. It's delicious. Hope you like this, and thanks for watching, and enjoy your day. Oh my goodness. Just look at this. Woo.